The Turbo Train was a modern, streamlined, high-speed intercity passenger train designed like an airplane that hit the rails in the late 1960s. Powered by aircraft-type Pratt & Whitney gas turbine engines, the Turbo Train provided powerful, high-speed transportation. The railroads hoped it would attract customers away from air travel. The Turbo Train was lighter, faster, quieter, and smoother than other trains. Because of its smooth aluminum exterior and low, streamlined design, the Turbo Train could slip smoothly through the air with minimum resistance, just like an airplane. A domed power car was at each end. Passengers could ride in the dome behind the engineer. Up to 7 passenger coaches could be coupled in between. Because the train had a powered unit at each end, the Turbo Train could start its return trip without turning around. Turbo trains operated between Boston and New York and between Washington and New York. They were introduced by the New Haven Railroad, then Penn Central, and finally by Amtrak. In Canada, the Canadian National Railways operated turbo trains between Toronto and Montreal. The turbo train's top speed was 170 miles an hour. The top speed carrying passengers was about 120 miles an hour. That was fast enough to cut 1 full hour off the travel time between New York and Boston and between New York and Washington. Today, Amtrak's speedy Acela has many similarities with the Turbo Train. Low-slung aerodynamic design, tilting cars, and powered units at both ends. But even though the Acela costs a lot more and had the benefit of newer engineering, the Acela has yet to top the 170.8 mile-per-hour speed record set by the Turbo Train in 1968. The Aero Train, introduced by the Electromotive Division of General Motors in the mid-1950s, was another streamlined speedster designed to lure travelers away from cars and airplanes. But like the Turbo Train, the Aero Train failed. It had no chance against the dazzling new cars and spectacular new airplanes being introduced in the 1950s and 60s. The golden era of passenger train service was history, and probably will never return. And that's too bad, because it sure would have been nice to sit in the domed power car of the Turbo Train, or the observation cars of the Aero Train, and watch the world flash past. It's fun to see those two sleek ghosts riding the rails together, even if it's only on a model train layout.